Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Manifesting with Feng Shui. I am so glad you are here. I just love being in the studio. This season 6, is being recorded here in Austin, Texas, with producer Logan on the mic. Say hey, Logan.
Hello again.
Happy to have you here.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Yes. So we're on the second episode this season so far, and I already told Logan that we have to already rearrange the furniture because I'm still facing the Grand Duke as we speak, everybody. It's freaking me out. No, but the Grand Duke, if you don't know, every year I do the Welcome to Wealth course where we kind of kick off the year together. And one of the things we talk about is how the Grand Duke changes location every year. And the big thing with that is you just don't want to face the Grand Duke for hours and hours on end. So if your desk is facing the Grand Duke, you just want to be mindful of either rearranging the furniture or, using this little statue called Piao to protect yourself. And so, of course, I sat down to record and realized I was facing the Grand Duke. So it's all good. We're going to take care of it. But anyway, it's a great refresher. I live my life through Feng Shui, and I was burned by the Grand Duke in 2017 when I realized my husband's desk was facing the Grand Duke day in and day out. And he literally lost his job simultaneously when we were selling our house and putting a bid on our dream home. So it was kind of bad timing. Things did not work out the way we wanted them to in the moment. The good news is it all worked out okay. We ended up in our dream home that we're living in now. But the whole point is, knowing Feng Shui and just paying attention to these little details can really just help you avoid misfortune and just help your life flow and feel so much better. So that being said, today is a really good episode because it's all about your front door, which is the most important area to apply Feng Shui. In fact, there's probably, I would say, 4 areas that are the most essential areas to apply Feng Shui. Definitely number 1 is the front door. Your bedroom is the second area to really apply Feng Shui if you haven't already and if you're new to it. You want to apply Feng Shui to your kitchen because that's the hub of abundance. There's so many pillars of the kitchen that represent money. And your bathrooms, because the bathrooms actually have a lot of negative draining energy. And so when you apply Feng Shui to the bathrooms, it's life-changing. So if you're new to Feng Shui, definitely start with the front door and then make your way through the other essential areas: bedroom, bathroom, kitchen. And today we are focusing on your front door. Your front door is the mouth of Qi. And here's what you're missing. So I wanted to ask you, Logan, before we get started, when you think of your front door, what is it? Could you describe your front door of your home? What does it look like?
So it's a black door and it has a window. Basically, I would say it fills a good 2/3 of it, just a one solid pane window. So it's very open and you can see in and out of it, no problem. We live in a very safe neighborhood. So it's having a open window front door is totally fine. Mm-hmm. And then we have a pretty long entryway into a rotunda area.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So, at the time of this recording, we are deep in winter, at least in Chicago. The weather's been kind of mild, but, being in Chicago, it is cold. And being here in Austin, it's night and day. I actually got to sit outside yesterday and eat dinner with no coat or jacket or anything. It's just amazing. So yeah, Texas has this beautiful architecture with the rotunda that you're talking about. I don't think you find those in colder climates like in Chicago, but isn't it an open thing or no?
Yeah, it's pretty open. Yeah.
Is it
it's honestly, I didn't even know what a rotunda was until we bought this house.
Rotunda. I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what it is then? Maybe I don't even know.
So
does it have a ceiling or is it outside?
It's inside. So it's a long entry hallway type walk in. That's, maybe 20 feet. And then, so off to the right would be our office, and off to the left is formal dining. And then you walk in a little further. And the rotunda, I feel is like a distribution center. It's like from the rotunda, you can go to the right to our room, to the left to the kitchen, to the right or forward into the grand room. It's kind of like
it's circular.
Yeah, it's circular. Well, it's actually probably like hexagonal in a way. Yeah.
Okay. Got you. So I didn't know what it was, which is why clearly, but now that explains it. So this is going to tie it all together, I swear. So we're talking about the front door. The front door is where you can open the door literally to more money, more opportunities. It is so important. It's if not the most important area to apply feng shui. And I was just in Las Vegas not too long ago, and I spoke to a group of over 40 real estate agents, and we were talking about ways to help move homes, help sell homes, sell properties. And also I was talking to the real estate agents on how to protect their energy as they go through homes, and also how to call in ideal clients, ideal buyers. It was a great conversation. But what really surprised me is that when I asked them about home staging and what they did to stage the front door, it was kind of like crickets. Like, not a lot of the real estate agents really had things that they did to the front door to make it more appealing to a buyer. And so I just think it's really important that we all recognize that the front door, we personify the home. It's the mouth of the home. And every time you open it, it's like your home is taking a deep breath in of abundance and money and all fresh energy. And it rejuvenates the entire rest of the house. And the way I like to say, what I like to tell people, especially my one-on-one clients, or when I was in Las Vegas talking to these real estate agents, I basically said, the energy flows where your eyes go. So if you're walking past the home, is there anything about the front door that is catching your eye? Are there any bright colors? Is there anything that, maybe a bright flower pot or something like that can actually flag people down, flag buyers down, flag the universe down, so that everything that you desire can really come to your doorstep. And so we kind of went into that. And, I'm going to give you at least 3 tips today that you can apply to your front door so that you can activate the space, so that you can call in what it is that you desire, whether it's more money or opportunities or helpful people into your life. And, the Feng Shui Essentials experience is coming back this spring. That's where I take you through all the most essential areas of your home, including the front door, and we go deep there. But you know that my intention is always to provide you with practical, tangible steps that you can take after you press play. So I'm going to give you a little taste of how to activate your front door. And then, with all of this being said, Logan, it sounds like you have a beautiful front door. Do you have any colorful wreaths or anything, or flowers or anything like that, near the door?
So in the rotunda, we have a table that rotates with whatever my wife wants to have on there. There's always our big quartz crystal on there, then different flowers, whatever season it is. Yeah. So
such good energy.
Yeah.
I love that so much. So good. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're new here, when I come to Authentic Exposure to record, it is my favorite thing in the world. There are so many crystals everywhere. It's just amazing. So, so good to activate your space with crystals. All right, now let's get into this. I really want to share with you. I had somebody, her name's Karina. She took the Feng Shui Essentials experience and she only got through module 1, how to feng shui your front door. And after she applied all of the feng shui tips to activate the front door, to call in more money, more opportunities, she literally manifested $28,000 that month. And I've shared this text before on Instagram because it's so fun, because essentially her and her now husband, they were getting married, they were having a wedding shower, and she messaged me one day. She's like, I did the feng shui for the front door and we got $11,000 that's gifted to us, cash. And then days later, she messaged me again. We somehow got $18,000. She was getting cash handed to her. And this had never happened to her in her entire life before. And the fun thing about Karina is that after she took the Feng Shui Essentials course and joined me on a 12-month manifesting journey, she herself decided to get certified in Feng Shui because she's like, why doesn't everyone know about this manifesting magic? That's very much my story. That's how I felt too. And it just makes me so happy and proud to share her story. And so now Karina shares her story with her clients because manifesting with Feng Shui was a game changer for her. And it's my intention that it can be a game changer for you too. So let's get into it. First and foremost, I actually had a reel go semi-viral about the front door. And it's kind of funny because I talk about Karina in the video about how she manifested $28,000. And the clip just says, sweep your front porch and get a doormat. And voila, you're going to manifest $28,000. But we all know that's just a highlight reel. It's just a clip of me giving one of many suggestions. So I just want you to keep in mind that it's not just going to be one thing that you do to the front door. There's going to be layers of things that you can do really in order to invite fresh, positive energy and money into your life. So first and foremost, yes, you do need to have a doormat because the doormat is essentially a landing pad for money and opportunities to come into your life. And ideally, you want it to be, a thick doormat. Thicker the doormat, the thicker the opportunities, the more sturdy, the more steady the finances and income. Holograms were a big thing at one point, and I definitely had a hologram mat with an H for Hollinger. And I quickly learned once I started getting certified in Feng Shui that we don't want to have a hologram mat. It's important that you don't have that because you don't want people walking on your name. And I know it sounds like there's a lot of rules for the doormat, but I swear it's not too bad. You just want to make sure it's not wider than the door, because a doormat that's wider than the door is going to actually invite in more opportunities than you can handle at one time. So it sounds like a good thing to have an abundance of opportunities and money and all the clients flowing in. But if you don't have the capacity to handle it all, it's just going to feel like you're kind of half-assing all the things, right? And we don't want that. So excuse my language. I'm really big I'm reading Matthew McConaughey Green Lights right now, and he talks about half-assing. So it's just been a phrase I've been using for this entire year so far. But I will ask you, Logan, do you guys have a doormat?
We have a doormat on the outside, not on the inside. So
all of this is really pertaining to the outside. So that's perfect. Okay. So one of the things that I had mentioned is ideally it's solid. I've seen patterns in doormats that have holes in them, and we don't want anything slipping through the cracks. So a solid doormat, and then the width of the door versus bigger than the door. So where are we with that? I feel very
feng shuied then. It's the width of the door.
All right.
Yeah, it's very solid. It is one color, and we just have our L on there for our last name.
Yeah, Logan, I mentioned no holograms.
Oh, sorry.
No, so here's the funny thing. So
hold on, let me back up then. So we have a nice solid mat, and it is one color. But unfortunately, we do have an L on there for our name.
It's not a gotcha. But you know what's so interesting, Logan? Because I also had a hologram doormat at one point too before I knew all this. But kind of interestingly, have you
Is it hologram or monogram? Monogram.
It's totally monogram. So can we edit everything in this entire episode? I swear to you, it's because I'm facing the Grand Duke.
We got to switch it up. We're going to switch it up after this episode. We're moving you around.
1,000%. Yeah. You can't edit out that you corrected me, so that everyone knows that from now on, I'm going to say monogram because that's what I meant. The designer Tory Burch, right?
Yes.
So Tory Burch believes in Feng Shui, and she hired a Feng Shui practitioner. And one of the things that they recommended for her is and honestly, I've kind of seen her go back to doing this, but there was a period of time where she did not have her logo on the soles of her shoes because the Feng Shui expert had recommended you don't want your logo on the sole where people are walking because you don't want people walking on your name.
That makes sense. So is that why we don't want the monogram on the mat? We don't want people walking on our name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't want people walking on us. We don't want people walking on our energy or running over us, or, you've heard the term like, I'm not a doormat, right?
That's a good point. If it was actually a hologram, then it could just like disappear and reappear when we needed it to.
Things are making me feel better, but we are in Mercury retrograde pre-shadow, so it does impact communication. So that might be why I, had that moment. So thanks. Makes me feel better.
No problem.
All right, everyone. So a couple other things that you can do to welcome in abundance and opportunities. This is where the reel went viral here, but it really is true. When you sweep your front porch, you are going to be clearing away old stagnant energy that could potentially be holding you back. So the power of using a broom to physically sweep the front porch, this is actually something that is practiced in a lot of different cultures and a lot of different traditions. And so it's a very good practice to do if you're feeling stuck or stagnant in your career, maybe new clients aren't flowing in like you want, or people aren't paying up their dues that are owed to you. Really sweep your front porch with the intention to clear the energy and open up the flow of money, the flow of clients. That's a big one. And then if you want to activate money with the front door, add a little pinch of cinnamon to the entryway, because cinnamon is a money activator. So I actually really love to get, when I'm doing a space clearing, rosemary and cinnamon bundles, because when you burn rosemary and cinnamon, it is not only clearing the energy, but it's also infusing money energy and attractor. It's an attractor for money. So with the cinnamon, you can literally put it on the palm of your hand and blow it at the front door. Or you can actually put some cinnamon on your finger and you can do like a figure 8, the infinity symbol, that sideways 8, to symbolize the flow of abundance and money coming into your home. So these are just a couple of ways that you can like really activate your front door. So we're talking getting that solid doormat, sweeping the front porch, adding a pinch of cinnamon to really activate the money energy. Simple things that you can do to really call in what it is you desire. And I actually have 2 more things, and I don't think you'll be mad at me for giving you any bonuses, but 2 more things. Having a metal wind chime near the front door is very powerful. And that is kind of one of those Feng Shui 101 basics. For my real estate agents, they loved this one because I actually gave them a Feng Shui adjustment that they could do to call in buyers when they put a house on the market. But just for you today, listeners, you can get a hook, a shepherd's hook for the garden, and put it next to the front door. It doesn't have to be like literally on your front door. It could be like off to the side. Our metal wind chime is like, we have a pathway leading up to our front door, and my husband actually like hung the wind chime in the tree, and it's fine. And it makes a really nice sound, but the intention of it is that it's going to circulate the positive energy. And this is going to be especially important for you if your house is in a cul-de-sac or at a dead end, because the energy gets very stagnant in a cul-de-sac or at a dead end. And what the wind chime will do is it's going to circulate the energy. So more opportunities, more money, more clients flow into you. So the last and final tip I want to share with you is to use your front door. Open it once a day. If you don't use it, try to just be mindful that you're just opening the front door. Every single time you open the front door, it is going to be welcoming in fresh energy. And there's so many one-on-one clients that I work with who, and I'm guilty of it too, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but just for convenience, they're using their mudroom and like the attached garage door to come in and out of their house constantly. And so what happens is they're not actually opening the front door, which then is really just a simple adjustment and opportunity that they're just missing. Okay, Logan. So again, not to put you on the spot here, But Logan, do you use your front door, or are you kind of one of those people that you guys use your garage more often?
We definitely use our garage the most,
Mm-hmm.
but we still use the front door. It's not like it's not like, you know, never using it, because also maybe not for always going in and out when we're leaving, but definitely like when the kids are out in the front yard playing. We have a very the front yard is a fun area for the kids to play in. We have the neighbor kids across the street. And so we're always going in and out of the front door a lot.
Okay, I love it. How do you think, one of the other tips I gave today was about adding a metal wind chime like near the door, or, you know, even if it's like leading up the path in the walkway or whatever. It doesn't have to be like on the front door, but a metal wind chime circulates positive energy. Do you have one, or have you noticed anyone in your neighborhood with metal wind chimes? Do you think it would annoy your neighbors? Because I have heard that before, that people are like a little bit hesitant to do that.
We have a metal wind chime. It's actually in the backyard though, because we love. It's like it's so beautifully tuned that like when we're sitting on the back balcony patio, we love having it back there, and it's very like subtle. But now that you're telling me this, I might just get one for the front too, because it is such a subtle, really like beautiful sound. It's not too annoying, and I don't even think my neighbors would care anyway.
Yeah,
but maybe this is our sign to get one by the front door now.
It would be amazing. I think that would be really, really auspicious. It would just get like abundance and opportunities and things flowing into your life. Do you happen to live like on a cul-de-sac or a dead end or anything like that?
No, we're on a loop.
Well, that's good. Yeah. That's really good, because definitely what I was saying is like if you live in a cul-de-sac or on a dead end, which I don't even like the name dead end, but you know, we want to get the energy flowing. It can stagnate quite a bit if that's like the situation. So, all right, everyone. Well, I hope that you got something from this episode. And if you want to learn more, stay tuned, because the Feng Shui Essentials is only coming around once this year. And it's literally going to give you the foundation for every area of your home that is the most essential space to Feng Shui. So if this piques your interest, let's get started. You can get started today with your front door, and just know that there's so much more that you can do to activate your front door and the most essential areas of your home, which of course we're going to get into it even more this season. Cannot wait. Thank you for leaving a review. I read every single one. I love having you here, and I'm just so grateful to be spending this time with you. Season 6 is off to a great start, and I just love being here with you. Logan, thank you so much for being on the show again, and I'm so excited just to get into our next episode. We're just getting started here.
I love being here. It's always fun with you.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone, and I will see you next week, where I will help you design the life you deserve. See you soon.